What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Cloud. We're watching a video by JD and Media. It says it's titled "Why Nerd Culture is Scared of Black People." I was interested. That piqued my interest. Black. Some people would consider me a nerd. I wouldn't say that I'm scared of my own people, but at the same time, there are some things that are quite off-putting. So let's hop into this video and see what my man's got to say.
In October 2025, it was revealed that Ubisoft cancelled an Assassin's Creed game in which you play as a former slave-killing Klansman. It was cancelled over concerns regarding the political climate, as well as backlash associated with Assassin's Creed Shadows. The main
I'm sorry.
In October
Run that back from
2025,
me. Run that back for me one more time. What?
It was revealed that Ubisoft cancelled an Assassin's Creed game in which you play as a former slave-killing Klansman. It was
A former slave. Okay, killing Klansmen. Okay.
was cancelled over concerns regarding the political climate, as well as backlash associated with Assassin's Creed Shadows. The main criticism with that game centers around Yasuke, who, despite being real, is quite obscure and certainly wasn't the pivotal samurai the game portrays him as. But, when has AC ever concerned itself with realism? The last Assassin's Creed game I played, George Washington was blasting people with a magic apple. But for some reason, when we talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows, everyone suddenly gets an armchair and a history PhD. And for every comment putting up the facade of an intellectual critique, there's one that sounds like they still haven't updated their racism software since the Jim Crow patch. Ubisoft has rewrote history, where sub-Saharan African migrant blood of Yasuke runs through the blood of the Imperial family. This is the most disgusting game in the history of gaming. From Political Awake or Colonel Otaku Gatekeeper.
I can't even, yeah, games are supposed to portray some parts of history, and Yasuke is real, but at the same time, we're trying to push a message here. I don't get it.
Racist, this is your man's.
I believe it is time you guys know the truth about me. I am not Japanese, but I can explain why I pretend to be Japanese. I am deeply ashamed of being British. Imagine we got a self-hating Brit over here cosplaying as a Japanese man,
But more than
talking about Japanese culture as if this isn't actual history. See, I want to be nice, but white people continue to try to whitewash history, and it's time to stop.
making me outraged or offended, my initial reaction to the AC Shadows controversy was more or less confusion.
I didn't play the game, so I don't know anything what he's talking about. Anything that he's talking about.
Haven't we done this before? Shogun is an HBO series that aired back in 2024. Based on the novel by James Clavell, the protagonist John Blackthorne gets shipwrecked in Japan, adopted into the service of a powerful Japanese lord, is granted the rank of samurai, and aids in his conquest. Deja vu, anyone? So how exactly?
Okay, so where's the backlash about that? Where's the outlash on the white man becoming a samurai? Oh, but now since it's a sub-Saharan African, bro, people are so people. It's funny to me because people really, when you listen to what people say, they show all their cards. You don't have to guess who they are or what they think. They fit perfectly into that stereotype. Come on, bro.
Are these two so different? What separates Blackthorne and Yasuke? Well, the answer is 600.
Hold on. Go back, because I'm gonna actually have to watch that movie. That movie look cool. Shogun? Okay, bet that.
Okay. And Yasuke. Well, the answer is 600 years of propaganda and race science.
I mean, camera's here. Let's be for real, bro. 600 years? Sure, we'll go with that. 600. The Birth of a Nation, the most racist movie ever made. I'm gonna have to watch that too. In paper, pad. Birth of a Nation. I'm gonna remember that. Hold on. Hold on. This is history here. The first black lead in a horror movie was a zombie slaying hero. I mean, that's cool. That's whatever. Oscar nominations, yeah. Sinners was, boy, the Sinners. Man, I loved every bit of that movie. I can't even lie. I loved every bit of that movie, man. Except that boy Nasty. I know it's a fake. I know it's acting. Boy, she couldn't even run no water over it at least. At least let her run some water.
In the aftermath of World War I, Italy got very little.
Boy.
The economy was wrecked, its government was weak, and there was a steep political divide that exacerbated every issue. And so strolled in the father of fascism, Benito Mussolini. His idea went something like this. What if I was able to somehow unite everyone under a single common cause, to forgo individuality and instead place their trust and belief in nationality and culture itself? It would require a singular strongman, a charismatic
Mussolini.
pinnacle of the culture, and of course, an emphasis on militarism, so that no one
That kind of sounds like nationalism, huh?
steps out of line. But see, the two most important elements to make fascism work are an enemy to fight and a history to mythologize. See, a lot of people look at a term like white nationalism and just kind of file it under that folder in their head labeled racist stuff. But let's actually break it
Nationalism.
down. White nationalists believe that all
Good movie. Not gonna lie, that's a great movie. Oh my gosh.
white people are part of a collective, and that collective is both under attack yet inherently superior.
Hold on.
And that
Our blessed homeland, our glorious leader, our great religion, our noble populace, our heroic adventures. And then, the opposing side, of course, their barbarous wastes. Like, you have to create an enemy for you to unite people. This is why the Republican Party focuses so much on immigrants. They have to have something to focus on. They can't focus on us. What's wrong with us? We're trying to feed the homeless. You're gonna make an enemy of that? We're trying to get people off drugs, off the streets. You're gonna make an enemy of that? But you can't. So you have to make an enemy of the part that we're trying to allow people seeking asylum into our country, which is not an issue.
collective is both under attack yet inherently superior.
Yeah, and work too. It's not just asylum.
Superior to what exactly? Well, we'll come back to that in a second, but first we gotta tackle the most fundamental flaw in this line of thinking, that being whitehood isn't a real thing.
I like to look at these. Barbarian. Scythian. Yes. Yeah. I mean, if we want to be frank, if we want to be blunt, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube without getting flagged or demonetized, but they were barbarians. And now we call them the man. There we go, right there. We call them that.
Race isn't
And I mean, depending on what you believe, might have a little bit of Neanderthal blood in them.
genealogy, nor is it ethnicity. Again, the first rule of fascism is to mythologize history. White nationalism needs you to buy into the thought process that for thousands of years our ancestors all lived in perfectly hegemonic ethno-states, in which A, culture mattered way more than it actually did in history, but also B, skin color equals culture? This is the logical fallacy that critical race theory tries to point out. Scientifically speaking, no one is really white.
That critical race theory that we can't learn anymore.
They are Irish, or they are Italian, or they are Syrian? Yeah, check it out. There are a grand total of 5 races according to the US government, meaning Syrians are white. And over the course of history, basically every immigrant group has at one point attempted to argue that they belong in Whiteville. Mexicans, Middle Easterners, Asians, all of these groups, which have tons of categories within themselves, were at one point labeled as white.
It's bigger than black and white.
And of course, Jewish people, Irish, Italians, all of these groups were once considered not white.
I was about to
So
say,
what exactly is the truth?
I thought he was
The
going to say
debate over what is white matters solely due to what being white means. For a long time, American citizenship was
being white is nothing. What is it? Let's read the definition. The property or quality. Let's read the definition. Whiteness. The property or quality of being white in color. A landscape dominated by the whiteness. The quality of being very pale. The whiteness of her skin like a fine porcelain. The fact or state of belonging to a human group having light colored skin.
Solely due to what being white means.
That's white.
For a long time, American citizenship was limited to people who were classified as white. It is quite literally an exclusionary designation that doesn't mean anything on its own. It lets you know who is welcome to the club and who should keep walking. So, what is whiteness? The answer is whiteness is not black. Who do white nationalists believe they are superior to? Anything that is the other. Looking through
That's why when if you was light skinned, if you was like this color, you kind of got a pass. We let you in certain places, but once you got this color, your line is there. No, no, and it's racism is still very prevalent. Not sure. I'm trying to expand my vocabulary, but it's still around, very much still around, in South Africa especially, where seems like whites are starting to dominate.
Through old census is one of the most damning arguments against white nationalism, since you get to watch in real
Been dominated, but even more so.
time as the US government struggles to figure out what they themselves define as race. The belief would honestly be laughable if it didn't kill millions of people. When most people think of fascism, they think of Mustache Man. What is conveniently left out of the conversation is just how many of Hitler's ideas he got from watching the United States. Hitler was greatly inspired by Jim Crow, and in the early stages, the Nazis based their judicial persecution of the Jewish people off of a similar model.
I don't know what that.
What was most core to this were their laws prohibiting interracial marriage. We are definitely going to touch back on that at the end, but first I want to harken back to those two golden rules of fascism: mythologize and create an enemy. You see, if you want people to kill and enslave for the sake of the culture, you need to convince them the culture is worth killing and enslaving for. This is difficult because there is no culture worth killing and enslaving for. So you must craft one, and while you're at it, why not create cultures worth being killed and enslaved? See, don't stop at mythologizing your own culture, why not lie about others? This comes in the form of fear-mongering, racist stereotypes, and other kinds of propaganda you're likely to hear this Thanksgiving. But I want to actually talk about
that really puts my mind into a different perspective. You have to create an enemy and mythologize. If you want to create a culture and really have that promulgates, I think that's the right word. I said I'm trying to expand my vocabulary.
A more obscure form of this mythologizing. And that is what we see in the world of art and entertainment. Yeah, this video's about that, remember? Key to the mythology of a fascist state is the notion that culture is absolute, both in its importance as well as its hegemony. There is a reason for the salute, the uniforms, the slogan, the specific beauty standards. Fascism requires a model of excellence and a series of tropes that define the culture being marketed. Every facet of life must fit the brand, and this extends to art. This is how we arrive at media censorship, book burning, or the example I want to highlight here, Nazi art exhibitions. Right next to their own shining examples of what it means to be a proud Aryan creator, you'd have entire sections of the displays demonstrating what was not accepted. Much of this was art created by Jewish or black artists and was labeled the monstrous offspring of insanity, impudence, ineptitude, and sheer degeneracy. So while
So the Jews and blacks are monstrous, insane, impotent, inept. Right? Not truly understanding our culture, what we stand for, and even just being giving grace. Like some cultures, as all cultures do, they come to a point where they're corrupted by the people who have lost the true vision of what our culture stood for and what our culture was bringing, right? With that being said, I'm gonna end that there. They were talking about book burnings. We are missing a lot of information that would change the whole trajectory of our existence as a human race if the crusaders and other colonizers and things of that such. Colonizers, they love to burn the books and burn the records of the prior civilization because his story, they want to write their story into these books and they want to make that. They don't want you what's that word? What's that saying? The winner always gets to write history. Now we have the books. We have some books coming out. We have scraps of this text and that text that really tries to help us regain a better understanding. But at the same time, it's nothing compared to the grips that we're assuming they would have had back in the day.
You bask at the degeneracy before you. I want you to consider where we might have heard similar ideas before. From rap music, to video games, to the Super Bowl halftime show. See,
oh my, whoa.
To video games.
What she say there?
To the Super Bowl halftime.
Laura Loomer, oh. I've heard that name before. Interesting character, I'm not gonna lie. Illegal aliens and Latin hookers twerking at the Super Bowl. This was, oh yeah, that was the most recent Super Bowl. Okay. Not a single white person or English translation at the Super Bowl. This isn't white enough for me. Oh. let's just go to blatantly say it out loud. It's not white enough for me. There you go. Can't even watch a Super Bowl anymore because immigrants have literally ruined everything. Wow, that was not my words, YouTube. I'm sorry. It's not my words. That is crazy.
Show. See, fascism is rather fragile, and fascists are aware of this fact. That is why art is so important to them. On one end, it is the ultimate exchange of ideas, but on the other end, it is the ultimate opportunity to rewrite the narrative. Step 1, mythologize. Step 2, create art that feeds into the mythology. And you know that you've won once anything not feeding into it starts to feel out of place. Eventually, anything that doesn't fit is regarded as lowbrow at best, or at worst, people call it an attack on the culture. After this video,
just because we don't dance like you, just because we speak a whole different language. What's wrong with people speaking different languages? It's crazy. It's so self-centered. Americans are. It's self-centered. The fact that most Americans only know English, but if you talk to immigrants from outside the world, how many languages do they know? at least two, at the least, because you have to know English nowadays, right? So they know their native language and they know English, and then they probably know other languages as well. It's so self-centered, us Americans.
You should absolutely check out this video essay by Jacob Geller. His breakdown of the right and their hatred.
Who's afraid of modern art, vandalism, video games, and fascism? And honestly, this is why I love playing video games, like especially Assassin's Creed. Not, the sport games, and like that's cool, it's entertaining, but like there's pieces of history that are hidden within these games, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Of modern art in part inspired this video you're watching now. But all that said, I do get hating modern art, because I used to hate it as well. I was a drama major, and as part of an exercise in school, we were asked to name a character we related to. As we went around the table, the trend was everyone picked a character who was as obviously similar to themselves as possible. This didn't necessarily have to do with race, though it did often align. An autistic classmate of mine chose an autistic character. The gay black guy chose a gay black character, you get it. Well, when it got to me, I really struggled with this. I like Black Panther, sure, but if you asked me who I relate to more, T'Challa or Naruto, well, it's not even close. Black Panther was about to come out, and the hype around it, well, you had to be there. People were talking about it like he was the first ever black superhero. And while I'm not saying the movie wasn't a big deal, I have mixed emotions regarding where that hype came from. Case in point, my brother had a coworker at the time who, while discussing Marvel, said, "I'm excited for you. Now it's like you guys have your Superman too." Now, to be clear, I don't think this...
Nothing compared to Superman, by the way. Like, let's is that the back in the day Black Panther? Hold on. That better not be back in the day.
Individual was trying to segregate...
Oh, I'm stupid. Black Panther is part of Marvel.
...superheroes. I bring the story up because...
But no, that's crazy though. Yeesh. I don't see the issue. I never heard that point of view before. Asking where that excitement comes from when we heard Black Panther was coming out. Shit. It's African. We get our own movie. That's what it is. Like, that's what it was. That's what it was. We got a movie that was encompassed around African culture, and Black Panther, like, that's the black man, that's the black superhero. Come on, bro.
Because of how well it illustrates the subtle reinforcement by our society that black is other. It is a quiet yet pervasive voice, constant...
Man, that situation at the at the award show, like, it's I'll talk about
telling us that white and black don't mix. Of course a black man could never relate to Superman, but we got this other fictional guy for you. Don't worry, he fails the brown paper bag test just fine. But really, you look hard enough and you can find this social exclusion everywhere. This is what someone who lives in a...
I think a black man could easily what's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know. But I could easily find similarities between me and this Superman.
Suburb should look like, not this. This is what someone who listens to country should look like, not this. Of course, it harkens back to the Nazis. This is what art should look like, not this. But I did more than just question my blackness at school. As part of my writing program, I had the pleasure of seeing a friend of mine have his work performed on stage. Art school can get pretty weird. Theater kid stereotypes are accurate, and yes, it did feel like an episode of Victorious at times. My friend's play opened with a 5-minute monologue about gooning. No, I'm not kidding. And every time you thought it was over, oh, it got so much worse. It was the exact kind of material that would have been labeled degenerate barbarism by the Nazis or modern art by the far right today. And I'll admit, even trying to keep an open mind, I didn't exactly get it. That was until after the show, when I spoke to some other guy friends who did get it. They opened up to me about their porn addiction, something some of them had been struggling with since middle school. They told me that monologue was the first time they had ever felt seen, that their addiction wasn't being treated as a joke. That is what representation is, and that's why it's so important. And just like how not everyone has a porn addiction, not everyone is a black woman or a gay man or a Latin American. Not everything is for you, and that's all right. It seems so simple when you put it like that, but conservatives are selfish man-children who are not okay with anything falling outside their immediate circle of understanding and or use.
Fucking pronouns!
Part of that is because fascism runs completely contrary to this idea. It has to group you into the us versus them mentality. The idea of white is necessary, because if everyone is a unique human being, capable of engaging with others' ideas, well then there is no such thing as an other anymore.
I mean, like, you know, the right side, I was about to say the white side. The right side wants to deny that that signal chat, right? With that signal chat where they were sharing, well, it wasn't they were sharing. They were saying some racist things in there, and then somebody had like a Nazi symbol in their background on a profile picture or something like that. That, like, we can't ignore that. The right is obviously trying to alienate everyone that is not with them. It's either you're with us or you're not, right? Either you want these immigrants out, either you want Trump as king, or you don't. That's what it looks like, honestly, on the right side. Like, everybody is slurping up Donald J. Trump. Jeez. But yeah, you have to divide. You have to divide. And it's crazy because we're the United. Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Trump, huh? United States presidents. Okay, but we are the most, I don't know, I've only been alive for so long, but we're the most divided I've ever seen in my life. I've only been politically aware for so long as well, but this is the most I've seen us be so at each other's necks.
And lay the beauty of art. It is non-conforming. It is the expression of the soul itself.
Great. Another great show.
It's human.
What was that? Love, Death, Robots? I think that was Love, Death, Robots.
AI is the worst thing ever created.
Let's not talk about AI.
I'm only going to speak on this briefly because I honestly don't think I need more than a paragraph to make my case.
Please,
there is a reason why AI.
Oh, thank you, because you don't need too much of that.
Is the aesthetic of so many white supremacist circles. There's a reason AI whitewashes everything by default. There's a reason why AI bots are frequently manipulated.
She didn't prompt that. It just did that. Oh, hold on. Here's what the prompt says. Give the girl from the original photo a professional LinkedIn profile photo. I guess that's what that says, professional. And literally made her eyes blue. She already got some blonde in her hair. Professional, and they made her hair look more crazy. Okay. Made her lips thinner. Eyebrows thinner. And then I think they changed they did some details here as well. That's crazy, man.
Whitewashes everything by default. There's a reason why AI bots are frequently manipulated by their handlers to promote racist, authoritarian propaganda. There's a reason AI is completely unchecked, allowing programs like Grok to produce obscene child material. AI is
Bro, see, no, because I can't even say I'm surprised because we know who made Grok. The probably he was in the Epstein files, bro. Y'all are disgusting.
an attempt by the incomprehensibly
and it's sick because people are just so, due to the unchecked power that people have when it comes to AI, people are able to really indulge in their perverted fantasies, and it's disgusting. It really is.
Wealthy to bankrupt and brainwash you. Now the mythology can be edited in real time. It's two birds with one stone. They can censor the artist while painting over history. Don't fall for the scam. Fuck AI.
Man, and AI, at first it was too easy to like, okay, that's AI, obviously. But at this point, it's getting so good. Like we need, we need, we need something.
So, we are finally here. Let's take everything we went over and see if we can at last answer why black cosplayers get bullied out of the hobby. Why
Honestly, at some times, I think we just need to pull the plug. Like, just pull the whole plug on the whole project, bro.
black VTubers get called monkeys so often.
Because I'm sorry to keep cutting. Because the good people can do great things with AI, but there's always gonna be those bad people, and we just cannot allow that to just be out there. Wait, I'm sorry. You nominate who? What? You nominate who?
You think they're beefing with Frieza, and why Yasuke caused the Twitter weebs to have a full-on meltdown. Not only are fascist and nationalist ideas still around, but we have them baked into the fabric of our society. They have reached the point where anything not fitting into their rigid structure is labeled by gatekeeping purists as, well,
I'm sorry, I just like to see all the slides. I'm sorry. I'm that type of guy.
but we have them baked into the fabric of our society. They have reached the point where anything...
Marvel's Ironheart trailer is here. Iron Man's DEI replacement. Oh, is that the new Iron Man or something?
not fitting...
I mean, what? We can't have shit around
into their rigid...
Whoa. I'm sorry. Let me go. Oh, that's crazy.
not fitting into
PS5, PC. Now that's crazy. Martyrs are creating the definitive version. Y'all are... So this is the original game. Had a melanated person. I don't know her race. A melanated person, and then the modders, because you can only mod on PC, I'm sure, they just put a white girl because that's more accurate to the times. Okay,
to their rigid structure.
Please, everybody's talking about Haisha and Hades too. Okay, I really don't know too much about
Sure, is labeled...
They're mad because he's Asian and not Greek.
by gatekeeping...
Moses Ingram shares racist messages from Star Wars haters. Oh, wow. The Obi-Wan Kenobi villain thanks fans who have rallied around her at Lucasfilm.
purists as, well, impure. Nerd culture...
Until women, blacks, and gays are largely removed from the gaming industry, we will never have another. And of course, it's somebody who hides their face and hides behind a a character. Master Chief. You're not Master Chief, my boy. You're not. You're not Master Chief, my boy, and you probably have no financial skills. Like, bro, CFO. Come on, bro.
fears black people for the same reason mixed race couples are such a huge deal, or for the same reason a black woman making a country album turns so many heads.
That shit was, I'm sorry, that shit, Beyonce. Queen.
Black people in nerd culture does not promote hegemony. It doesn't play by the binary.
Nasty ass nigga. I'm sorry, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You, boy, you right there. You couldn't let her wash it off just a little bit? Run a rag, some hot water?
Cultural fusion is the ultimate destruction of the fascist worldview. Progress has been made, but our society...
Back in the day, they used to be walking miles. I'm sorry. Back in the day, they used to be walking miles. Boy, nah, I'm
still
good.
Has not defeated the hegemonic belief that one type of person belongs over here and the other belongs over there. You have perhaps heard that as a black person, your existence is political. Well, as a black nerd, your inclusion is controversial. It is punk rock. It is anti-conservative. And you know what? Controversial. It is punk rock. It is anti-conservative. And it is controversial.
Okay.
It is punk rock. It is anti-conservative. And you know what? That's kind of awesome.
I love it. I love it.
Thanks for making it to the end of...
I love
The video. This one took a long time to make. I was really debating whether or not I wanted to make a video.
Alrighty, y'all go and support JD Media, but I really do love it as well. I really do think it's very important that we continue to educate each other and ourselves on different cultures, right? And not just feed into the propaganda, or we see that certain things have been ruined by colonization. We can't focus on what has been put in place by colonization. We have to focus on what the true culture is. That's not their true culture. That's what happened to them after they were civilized, right? So we just have to look at it a different way. We have to be more open-minded and more progressive when it comes to society. We can't be so conservative. We have to give out things. We have to let other people handle, honestly, to not put it in a bad term, but like our lightweight, right? Why are we making batteries when China does it the best? Now we have to rely on these trash American batteries because China wants nothing to do with us now. But anyways, with that being said, you guys like, share, subscribe. Definitely go check out this video. I mean, really no point now, but definitely go check him out. And yeah, I'll have a great day.
Specifically